This video is on adding fractions and a little bit of subtracting. To start with, we have a pizza. If you divide that in half, then you'd have two halves of a pizza. After all, that's what a fraction is. It's part of a whole. So imagine something like a pizza or a pie when you're adding fractions. So 1/2 plus 1/2, as you can probably guess, is going to be the whole pizza, which is just the number 1. 1/2 plus 1/2 is 1. Now looking at it a different way, because you're going to have harder problems, you add the top two numbers, the numerators, and the denominator stays the same. So it was 2 on the bottom, and it remains 2. 2 over 2 equals 1. And that went kind of quick, but you'll see it again here. You could even take a second to pause it now that you see the problem, 2/4 plus 1/4, and see if you can come up with the answer. But if I'm adding those up, 2 plus 1, I add the top two numbers, the numerators, and the denominator remains the same. I don't add that, it's just 4. 2 plus 1 is 3, so that's 3/4. Again, imagining the pizza, you'd have 3 4-size pieces of pizza. So 4 would be, if you split the pizza into 4 equal pieces, 3 of those pieces would be 1/4. Now let's look at a similar problem, 1/2 plus 1/4. So if I have half a pizza, that's half a pizza there, and then I add a fourth of a pizza. Well, adding it up, that's 3/4. And now I'm going to go back and do it the other way, which would be to have the same denominator. So I'm changing 1/2 to equivalent fraction with the denominator of 4 on the bottom. And the way I do that is I multiply both top and bottom by 2. If I'm doing that, it's basically making it equivalent, as long as I multiply the top and bottom by the same thing, because 2 over 2 is 1. So when I do that, I get 2/4 plus 1/4, which would be 2 plus 1 is 3 on the top and 4 on the bottom. You can pause it again here and see if you can figure out what 3/8 plus 1/8 is. So that's 3/8 of a pizza plus another 1/8. If you look, that's going to equal half of a pizza, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4 slices. So again, 4 slices, 4/8 equals 1/2. And you reduce that fraction by dividing. Make a fraction with a bigger denominator, you multiply. To reduce it to simplest form, you divide by the number that goes into both of them. So if you didn't get that, you can go back and look how I did that, simplifying again, because that went kind of quick. So here, 3/4 plus 3/8. First, what I'm going to do is get together with the visual 3/4. That's 2/4 right now, and then this would be another fourth. So that's 3/4, and then another 3/8. So 1, 2, and a third slice. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fit that in there, and that makes a whole pizza and another slice. That all together is 1 and 1/8 of a pizza. So it's more than one pizza. It's one pizza and another slice. I'm going to do it again the way you would do it if you didn't necessarily have a pizza there for you to count the slices, or if you had bigger numbers like 16ths or 100ths. You add the top two numbers. I have the same denominator, so I can add the top two numbers, 6 plus 3. The bottom number stays the same. 6 plus 3 is 9. The bottom number is 8. Now that's not the same answer, but it is actually equivalent. I'm going to show you how you get to that 1 and 1/8. I divide 8 into 9, because after all, fraction is dividing. So 8 goes into 9 one time, and you get a remainder here. You got 1 left over. So your answer is 1 remainder of 1. Of course, you don't write it that way. Once you learn how to do fractions, you write it as a mixed number. So it's 1, and then you get that 1 piece left over, which is 1/8, the original number you were dividing by. So again, the answer is 1 and 1/8. take note of where those numbers go. The remainder goes on top. The 1 is that number out in front on the mixed number, and the 8, it goes on the bottom of that fraction. So you can pause this and see if you can do this. This is a subtraction problem, so it's a little bit different, but if you get the concept, you might be able to get that answer now. So I start out with 5/8 of a pizza. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 slices. And I take away 2, or I take away 3. So that's what I just did, took away 3, and I have 2 slices left. 2 slices left, translated back into fractions, is 2/8. 2/8 can be reduced. In other words, you got an equivalent fraction where in the simplest form you can put it in. So the equivalent fraction there, you can see sort of that it splits into a fourth of the pizza. So equivalent fraction there is 1/4. And again, you can get that by dividing top and bottom by the same number. In this case, divide top and bottom. The 2/8, you divide 2 by 2. And then you divide 8. 8 divided by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 8 divided by 2 is 4. Again, the answer is 1/4. And that is actually the last problem. So, I hope this video was helpful for you. If you have any questions, you can send me a message, or you can visit my website, and I'll put a link